So I want to talk about meaning and purpose. And I want to talk about, um, I really want to talk about something that is, I think, present in today's society more than ever. And it is that a lot of people, especially young people, don't really have a sense of meaning and purpose. And that, and I can speak about this because I personally have, you know, I'm currently, finding my own purpose and my meaning to my life, but I used to be, I used to not like really have anything for myself. Like I was just living, I was just existing, but I was not living. And similarly, I've had friends who, in the same situation, they kind of just survive. They kind of just exist like like human beings, but there's a difference between existing and living. And living means that you're actually you actually know what you're living for, and you actually have a goal, a mission, or you you know you're going somewhere, right? You're helping you're helping um, you're guiding your life. And so um, it's kind of difficult sometimes because like I go to work, I do exactly I do everything that society demands from me. I pay my taxes, I go to work, I work 45 hours, 50 hours a week, and I pay my taxes, I pay my bills and everything. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, and yet that's not enough. I have I'm a I'm in good relationships with my mom, my brother, my dad, and my girlfriend. I have good relationships. Yet that's not enough because believe it or not, there's there's some there's like a soul, like a calling that still hasn't been answered, you know, that still hasn't been, explored. There's a facet that needs to be pushed. It's like whatever gives you excitement, that's the thing that you need to go towards the thing. And sometimes the things that give you excitement are also the things that you fear. And and oftentimes we become too complacent with just going through life and just and doing just what's necessary to survive, but we don't have maybe the courage enough to go chase that kind of lifestyle, chase those dreams and goals. And so finding meaning and purpose is aligned to who you are as a person. It's very different for everyone, and I can say that I'm one of those persons that like I don't really like I don't really like have the same likes as my peers. Like I have peers who they're more than happy to be just do what they're doing, and they go home and they dream about cars and they talk about cars and sports betting, and that's all they that's good, that's them. But I have other things, like I want to, for the longest time I've wanted to start a business. For the longest time I've wanted to paint, just paint you know actual paintings and put them out in the world. And that, and also like be more involved with my community, be more, out there helping people. And I think that's that's my meaning and purpose for me right now, is to become a more active part of society, to give more of the talents and the gifts that I have, and put them out in the world. And I just that's my meaning and purpose. Obviously, having a loving relationship, a loving home, a home where you can come, a home where you can come, you know, and enjoy your girlfriend, your kids, your brother, your mom. All these things are very important to me too. My health is very important to me too. And so I just wanted to make this video to give my own take on finding meaning and purpose. It takes time, it takes a lot of trial and error, but you have to keep going and going and going, and slowly, slowly stepping out of the comfort zone, slowly taking moves, slowly taking actions. But you have to take actions, and you can't just stay where you are forever. And yeah, I and be patient, because life doesn't really, you can't change from one day to another. But with 1 year, you really when you focus, with like, you can do a lot of change in 1 year. Just imagine how much change you can do in 5 years in your life, right? So, guys, just keep at it, um, and keep at it and be positive, and just try to make the best of what you have. And that's all for me today. Thank you. Have a good one.